All right, when it comes to President Trump, I gotta be honest. I love the guy. Yes, I love the policies. I love not losing to China. I liked a strong border. I liked law and order. I liked no unnecessary wars, deregulation, all that stuff. I also liked the style, quite frankly. Yes, even the tweets, okay? Now, unfortunately, it drives some people crazy. Trump derangement syndrome is a very real thing, and this is the ultimate manifestation of it. A raid on Mar-a-Lago. This is just crazy. And, you know, it actually gets crazier the more I think about it, the more time that goes by. What happened here? They're doing everything they falsely accused Donald Trump of doing, weaponizing the DOJ. Joe Biden made it very clear through his beloved New York Times back in April what he wanted to happen. I actually don't think that Biden was given a heads up about this specific raid. He didn't have to get one. He gave them carte blanche, all right? He was, what's happening already with you guys? In April, in the New York Times, Mr. Biden confided to his inner circle that he believed former President Donald J. Trump was a threat to democracy and should be prosecuted, according to two people familiar with his comments. You got it? That's what the boss wanted. Next, Biden has said privately that he wanted Mr. Garland to act less like a ponderous judge and more like a prosecutor who is willing to take decisive action over the events of January 6th. So Joe Biden is using the Justice Department to take out his political opponents. Don't give me that January 6th nonsense. He's using for that and also to protect his loved ones. You know, the FBI has been actively searching for the people involved with Ashley Biden's diary. Yes, Ashley Biden lost her diary, and Joe Biden has made a federal case out of it, quite literally. And FBI agents have been hassling people up and down the East Coast because she lost her diary. Now, what really drives them crazy, and they want to somehow cancel them all over again, is that Donald Trump has the nerve to fight back. Latest Truth Social, if we could, please. The DOJ and the FBI just returned my passports. Thank you. Unfortunately, they raided my home, Mar-a-Lago, 8 days ago. They just opened their arms and grabbed everything in sight, much as a common criminal would do. This shouldn't happen in America. It shouldn't. But you know what? You're allowed to say these kinds of things. Yes, you are. But the fake news, they're trying to do it all over again. Get him kicked off of Twitter, get him kicked off of Truth Social. He's dangerous.
Tonight, federal agents at heightened risk. Barriers up at FBI offices and Secret Service posts hardened against new threats motivated by anger over the FBI search at Mar-a-Lago.
It's okay to be angry. It's even okay to be angry with the police or the FBI. We all saw it. 300 million people live in this country. People are going to be upset. Unfortunately, there are maniacs out there. We don't want them to do anything, but they've always done something. Well before Trump. I'll get to that in a moment. But first, it's his followers that can't be trusted. They're monsters. Oh, and of course, Donald Trump is a monster.
I'm sure you've seen this joint FBI Department of Homeland Security bulletin. It's now warning of what they call unprecedented violent threats in the wake of the search of Mar-a-Lago. Do you hold the former President Donald Trump responsible for inciting his supporters?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%, Wolf.
Defending himself against this unconstitutional raid is not inciting anybody. We're allowed to do this, okay? And this is not unprecedented, by the way. The FBI has been around a long time. I'll get to that in a moment. But again, this, we are calling for civil war. No, we're not. Nobody is, but that's how they are misrepresenting us. In The Atlantic, now they're calling for violence. This is by Rhino Pete Weiner. Trump loyalists have reacted to the search of the ex-president's Mar-a-Lago residence with unhinged fury. Well, we're mad, unhinged, I don't know. But look at this. The Gateway pundit, a pro-Trump outlet, wrote, "This means war." Of course, they mean war, right? I mean, with guns and stuff like that? No, of course not. War is a metaphor, okay? I hear it used all the time, on the fake news at least.
The Federal Reserve ramps up its war on inflation.
We saw this proxy war sort of on full display.
Trying to combat this virus. They're treating it like an all-out war.
Is there a problem with that? Is there a problem with the word war? No. And in fact, when Democrats say they want violence, they don't always use the word war, but it's quite clear what they want.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
You got to be ready to throw a punch. You have to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
Feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school. If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him. No, I wish we were in high school, I could take him behind the gym.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Take him out now. Okay.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
All right, we could let this go on for hours. You get the idea. All right? This is the crazy stuff. This is stuff that puts people at risk. Not a couple of posts on the internet.
Often it is Mr. Trump striking a match with his social media posts, accusing the FBI of being corrupt or planting information.
You know, this is where the phrase enemy of the people comes to mind, actually. It's okay to say those things, especially if you just had FBI agents in your house for 12 hours looking through everything. He is perfectly entitled to say these things. And you know what is really incendiary, I think the reporter said? Stuff like this, moments like this, when a police station burned and was glorified and sanctified by Democrats and the mainstream media. Now, back to this unprecedented pressure on the FBI. We got to be real here about the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. It's been around a long time, and all kinds of things have happened. People, unfortunately, and there are laws against this, and it should not have happened, but people have been taking shots at FBI agents for all too long. It happened actually as recently as last month before the raid. Some guy shot an FBI agent just for being, we believe, an FBI agent. Earlier last month, Tyler Collins attempted to enter the FBI Buffalo office, charged with assaulting 2 agents. It goes on and on like this. In 2020, a man approached the FBI office in San Diego, seemed threatening, ultimately committed suicide. Over the years, so many examples. Hey, the Alfred P. Murrah, Oklahoma City bombing. The FBI didn't have a facility there, but the DEA, the ATF, Secret Service. And tragically, FBI agents have been killed in the field offices. These 3 heroes were shot and killed in the D.C. Field office. This is long before Trump ever showed up. It happens. It's tragic, and it shouldn't. These 2 heroes shot and killed in El Centro, California in August of 1979. So it happens. It shouldn't happen. It predates Trump. Of course, you can't blame this on him. You can't. It's unfair. And also, we got to be real about the FBI as well. The men and women of the FBI, they're men and women, and they're not perfect. And they have a long history of agents who have been wrapped up in corruption and even matters far worse than that. Let's take a look. Over the years, we have this guy spying for Russia. This guy, manslaughter. He killed somebody, somebody he knew, a friend. Dave Mitteroni bribes. Oh, this case, Robert Hansen, very famous, spying for Russia. He's still in jail. The Russians are still killing people, we believe, based on information he provided. This guy, again, spying, this time for the Philippines. Oh, John Conley Jr., murder. He was pulling off contract killings for the mobster Whitey Bulger, an FBI agent. This individual, let's see here, bribery and wire fraud. Yikes. Christopher Bauer, sodomy against children, allegedly. Amberly Boyle, charged with domestic battery. David Harris, charged with sex crimes against minors across 3 states. This individual charged with attempted murder, assault, reckless endangerment. It goes on and on. Kenneth Yu, charged with assault, tampering with records, obstruction. I mean, we can go on and on and on. Probably for another 2 hours, all right? So the FBI, men and women capable of great things and also not so great things, all right? So, another bizarre chapter right now, the reemergence of John Bolton. Do you remember him? Number one, he helped bring us the Iraq War. He had a senior position in the administration of George W. Bush. Donald Trump did make the mistake of making him the national security advisor. This guy is Mr. Swamp, and he knows where all the traps are, and I think he left some for the former president.
I was never aware of anything even remotely approximating that policy, and I haven't heard anything of it since I left. If he, in fact, said something like that, when was it memorialized? When did the White House counsel write it down?
Okay, he's talking about the president's authority to declassify things, and he may have declassified things just by decreeing it so. He's a swamp guy. Ooh, they didn't memorialize it. Memorialize it is swamp talk for writing stuff down. We'll get into more of that with Kash Patel, a great patriot and total expert on these matters. He'll be joining us in just a little bit, but one more word on Mr. Bolton. Does anybody remember this? He said this in 1994, and I think, quite frankly, it should have excluded him from public life.
Secretariat building in New York has 38 stories. If you lost 10 stories today, it would make a bit of difference.
Maybe he was just talking about the unnecessary bureaucracy of the United Nations, but some didn't interpret it that way. They thought it was a very aggressive thing to say about the United Nations, a flawed institution to be sure, but nobody wants to see it blown up, right? All right. Meanwhile, the swamp is trying to ruin the lives of anybody who ever associated with Donald Trump. You heard about Alan Weisselberg. It looks like he was Donald Trump's accountant at the Trump Organization, and by all accounts, a great guy, but they're getting him on trumped-up charges. Has nothing to do with Donald Trump as president, and they can get almost anybody on something if they come after you. I always liked this gentleman, never met him, but I do remember him from The Apprentice.
What was the charity? The charity was Kitty Kind. I know, but that's a cat charity. It's a pretty bad charity with respect to dogs. Well, it's an animal rescue. The last thing that dogs want to know is that they're helping cats.
Shouldn't you have thought more along the lines of services? Washing, or grooming, or trimming, or massaging? Out of all the money you raised, 5% of it went to charity, which was $19. Do they actually massage dogs? From what I'm told, they do, Donald. What kind
Only
of job? Only God knows.
I don't want that job. I'd rather build buildings.
Do they actually massage dogs, Alan? I believe they do. Well, so another Trump associate is about to be convicted. And you add that to the list. And it seems like a long list, right? So-called criminals. But here's the deal. This list, as it grows, it doesn't implicate or tarnish Donald Trump or these individuals, some exceptions maybe, Michael Cohen. It implicates the Justice Department. They're out of control. The longer this list is, and Donald Trump isn't on it, they're the ones who should be embarrassed. Donald Trump remains beloved, okay? They can't stand this about him. You know, I heard last night Donald Trump said that he thinks the temperature needs to be reduced. Everybody needs to dial it back. Okay, but you know what would really help? If the Justice Department did not raid the home of a former president and harass people who had the nerve or the just good fortune of working with Donald Trump. That would help a lot in dialing things down in America. All right.